All right, everybody, it's me, Jessica Grace. Thank you so much for tuning in to Jesus Wired Live. I am here with Jonathan McReynolds. How's it going?
All is well. How about you?
All is well. I'm doing good. How have you been doing during the quarantine? I mean, oh my goodness, this pandemic. What's been going on? How have you been feeling?
Oh, I've been good. We have a lot of work to do. We've been, completing the album and promoting the album and a lot of other fun stuff. And so I've had definitely plenty of things to do, and I haven't been bored yet.
Right.
Probably just a little anxious, a little wondering when are we going to go back to normal. But other than that, I'm okay for now.
Right. I totally feel you. I mean, it's definitely been an adjustment. So anything interesting happening your way since you've been in the quarantine? Have you done anything super interesting? I know you've been doing a lot of Instagram lives, Facebook lives, YouTube lives.
I've done more Instagram lives in the past 7 days than I'm sure I've ever done, period, if you add it all together.
Right. Wow.
We've been working really hard. Anything interesting? I mean, I've probably gained a gut. I always had a gut anyway, and so now it's even worse. I mean, it's really bad. I mean, it's the type where you sit down, and you're like, oh snap. I've just kind of been trying to relax and rest. I've missed sports, and so trying to get out and try to work, exercise a little bit. But other than that, all I can really do is do my work and live normally.
Right, definitely. Well, I feel you. I totally understand, that weight gain has been real. Every time I turn around, I'm like, oh man, I just gotta have. Yesterday I had some hot Cheetos, and I was like,
oh, not the hot Cheetos.
Definitely not.
Well, I think what messes me up with granola bars. Now that doesn't sound too bad, but if you eat too many of them, which I do, like chocolate chip granola bars, I can absolutely just sit in one day, eat 10, 12, 15 of them.
Right. I feel you.
And so it's just straight sugar. And sugar goes straight to the gut, and so that's what's going on now.
Right. Well, listen, I want to dive into this interview because we are so excited that you are here. I know you have been super busy, so I want to hear. This show is all about conversation of faith, hope, and perspective, and just having an opportunity to hear from artists. There are a lot of aspiring artists who watch Jesus Wired and really plug into Jesus Wired. So I try to encourage them. But before we dive into, just your industry journey and all of that, I wanted to know, like, during this time, during this quarantine and during this pandemic, has God been speaking to you? If so, like, what has he been saying? Kind of tell us a little bit, kind of what you've been feeling during this time, from a spiritual place, spiritual growth and all of that.
Well, I think the number one thing is putting your faith and your religion, your relationship to practice. I think in America, we've in a lot of ways we get let off easy. You know what I'm saying? We are not the most poor nation in the world. We don't have a whole lot of just terrible things of biblical proportions going on here in America.
Right.
We really kind of spoiled. I know we can't believe it, but yeah, we're kind of spoiled, and
we are.
We don't even have to go deep too hard. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not even normally asking God for help with survival. We're asking Him for ours and just help us be even more happy and comfortable than we already are. And so I think this is an opportunity where you really have some of the crutches that spoiled us, that made us feel safe. That had nothing to do with God, just had a lot to do with how much money we had, how much stuff we had, how many followers we had, how much access to, the doctor even that we had. And, this is a moment where some of those things are threatened a little bit, if not completely wiped out. And so this is a moment where we really have to lean into the faith that we always claimed that we had. We have to really lean into the practices and the wisdom that we've always said that we believe the Bible and the whole Bible, and it's telling us some things. that we might want to put into practice. And I, even the contest that I did for my nonprofit, where I was encouraging people to go to the Word and answer some of these questions, I really wanted them to go to the Bible and find where it tells them, hey, y'all should be saving up some money.
Right.
Sometimes just
come on now. Right.
I'm really excited because when we do come out of this, and we will, whether it's in the next couple months or it may be completely, even next year or something like that, I really want us to now realize that things can happen to us. Not immune to the stuff that can take over maybe a country in Africa or Thailand. No, it can happen to us too. And our money and our confidence and our swag is not going to protect us. The only thing that will is our faith and our trust in God.
Right. Wow. That is so powerful. You guys, I hope you are plugged in. This is really good. It's good already. Listen, share this video now. And if you have questions, please put them in the comments section. So you're right, Jonathan. I feel the same way. This definitely gave me a lot to think about, during this pandemic when it came to just being prepared. We talk about stacking our coins, and I love, Dave Ramsey has the whole emergency fund thing in a part of his savings plan. So, it's really important that we make sure that we're not just spending just to be spending, but we're actually being intentional, and being good stewards over what we have. So, yes, I'm excited. So let's talk about your journey in the industry. Kind of walk us through a little bit of how you got to where you are now. Like I said, so many are watching right now who are artists and they're trying to attain success. Tell us about your journey, how you got started and how you ended up here.
Well, yeah, I started just working in my dorm room. Like, I really didn't have any kind of desires to do this. I didn't have a whole bunch of dreams of, man, one day I want to be able to, be on Jesus Wired Live and be talking about my fourth album. I never had that idea, you know what I'm saying? But I just was making music because it was fun. I enjoyed it. I felt like I was getting better at writing, getting better at singing and producing. And that's just all I wanted to do. And so over time, though, God just kind of put my name in the wind, and I found myself what I never envisioned I would do. I had no sense of industry. I had no sense of going to different churches. I had been in my one little Church of God in Christ church and never expected too much else to come out of it. But, God had his own, and he allowed the right people to hear my music, and the rest is history.
Wow, I love it. That's so amazing. Well, so we know that you're Grammy nominated, you're a Dove Award-winning artist, Stellar Award-winning artist. You've done hosting, so many great things. Tell us about what you are working on right now.
So yeah, we're about to release a new album. It's coming out tomorrow. Well, I guess Friday, but for a lot of us, it'll feel like just tomorrow night. And we're going to have a full visual EP that we're premiering on YouTube tomorrow at 9:00 Pacific, midnight Eastern. And I'm excited about it. The People EP. So we're going to be rolling that out, dealing with that for the next few weeks. And then even in May, we have some other cool content that's going to come out. So just stay tuned. Got a lot coming for the quarantine.
Love it. Love it. Team Quarantine. All right. So I wanted to just ask you, in relationship to the business aspect of the entertainment industry, what do you feel you have done to really help attribute to your success from a business standpoint? I think so many artists focus on just the vocals and being able to be skilled vocally, but what do you feel from a business standpoint, even marketing? I know you're a graphic designer and things like that. So what do you feel like has really helped you to become successful from that standpoint?
Well, I'm not a graphic designer. I'm not at any of these things. I just do the best I can sometimes. Okay. I would never give myself that title at all.
Okay.
But doing more yourself definitely helps you get things off the ground because you're not waiting on everybody else to do their part. And so in that vein, invest in yourself. I think that's the important part of it. I think people are like, well, I sing now. I sing well. So where's my help? You know, who's gonna come along and help me? And it's really you. Like, it's really gonna come from you. What are you investing in yourself? How are you investing skill-wise, money-wise, time-wise into what you have going on? You have to become your first fan, your first manager, your first marketing person before you get any of the things in other people. You have to do that yourself. And I'm blessed that I walked in with a few different skills, engineering. I knew how to record myself a little bit. I didn't know how to make a flyer or a website real quick. All that helped me be able to kind of move quickly without waiting for everybody else to sign off on me.
I love it. I love it. That's so cool. Well, tell me, about this. I know you've got the EP coming up tomorrow. Is there anything else you would like the audience to know? I don't want to keep you all day, but any other projects, that you have going on? I know you have a foundation. Anything?
So I have my Live Nation organization, and it's a nonprofit that's all just about wisdom. Go to elivernation.org to find out some of the things that we're doing. We just did a whole campaign, a $300 question of the day campaign, just to help people, obviously financially in this time, but also to encourage everybody to continue to make room, research, read, reflect on the wisdom of God, even in this time where, I think in this time shows you how much wisdom sometimes you've been operating in or not. Prepared were you for a moment like this? So, but in addition to that, there's not too much I can announce yet. All I can say is there's a lot coming. Obviously, we have a lot on the burner. This coronavirus situation will say a lot to when it will happen. And I'm talking about Sunday Best all the way to a people tour and all that other stuff. But even then, I'm working on some things that can get to us during this lockdown. And so just stay tuned, and we're gonna have a good year regardless. 2020 is not just the first 4 months is.
Right. I totally agree. Well, why don't you give some last, encouraging words to those who are watching? I don't see any questions, so everybody's probably just really listening right now, which is great. But give some last minute, encouraging words to those who are watching right now and trying to really push through this season. What would you say to them?
Well, I would say be encouraged, because the richest among us, the most talented, the most famous, everybody are all in the same boat. Rarely we have a time where the John Legends and the Jonathan McReynolds and the Jonathan, from around the block are in the same situation.
Right.
And so everybody is kind of on pause. Everybody is, kind of sitting and waiting for the world to change back to whatever it was or whatever it's going to be. And I would encourage you to rest. I would encourage you to think. Even if we can't do too much yet, start making some plans on what you will do as soon as outside opens up again. And be encouraged by just the moment where everybody is at a pause right now. Everybody's deciding, should I pay this bill, or is somebody gonna give us rent forgiveness? Everybody's thinking about it. Everybody's deciding, when the stimulus check is coming or not. So I just want you guys to have, find certain solace in the fact that nobody's getting ahead of you. Nobody's moving ahead of you right now. Everybody is literally paused in the middle of this race. And what you do here will determine how fast you can take off when, the race goes back to normal. And so just, have that level of contentment, I guess. Don't be anxious as if somebody else is running past you and you're losing ground. You're not.
Right. Well, we've got one question so far, and it just says, how hard was it when you first experienced your first writer's blockage, and what did you do to break it?
There's not too many ways you can break writer's block. It's kind of those things that just the song is gonna come when it decides to come. I find solace in the fact, and I honestly, after the record before Make Room came out, I was really concerned if I would have, be able to write any more music anymore. And I called great Kurt Franklin, and he said, "Oh yeah, I feel that way after every album is over." So know that writer's block is something that happens to the best of us. And really all you can do is keep pounding away, keep,
right.
A lot of times I actually bring in, now I didn't do it early in my career, but now I bring in 1 or 2 writing partners, so maybe they're not having a writer's block day to day, and they can add something to the pot. They can make me think about something. We both had a writer's block one day. And so I Instagram Live and said, "Do y'all have any ideas?" And it led to a good song. And so don't feel bad about just finding other people who can kind of help you power through that. Even if
I love it.
It's just a conversation.
Right. Just a conversation. It's so good to keep the right people around you and keep what inspires you around you. And I know you've written a book too. So any tips you want to, or any thoughts you want to share on that real quick, as far as just the whole book writing process, was that different for you?
No, it was fun. I mean, it was fun. I get in certain modes where it's time to write songs. It's time to, promote. It's time to perform. It's time to write articles and books. And in that moment, I was just in a mode of where I just loved writing blogs and articles. I was writing for Huffington Post. I was writing for my own thing. And so it all came naturally in that season. And it was fun. Now, could I just sit down and write another book right now? No. I'm on a different wavelength. But I enjoy it. And I'm just really blessed that, God chose me in that season to write a book about, expanding on the idea of making room. What does that mean? We sang the song, I wrote the song, sing the song. But what does it mean in different areas of your life to make room for God? And, people that have been blessed and they talk about it even today, just getting their book and reading it now. And so it's really cool that people are resonating with it. So I encourage you to go check it out.
Love it. Well, you were one of the first to buy my book several years ago. So I definitely want to say thank you so much for that, Jonathan. It meant a whole lot, definitely. But you guys, listen, I can't hold Jonathan all day because I'm sure he has a list of interviews coming after this one. But we want you to be encouraged. Please, please, please share this video. And make sure you stay tuned later on today because Jamie Grace is going to be joining us at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Do you have time for one last question? Because it's here and they have just posted it. Or you got to go?
Go ahead.
Okay, it says 2 questions. How do you deal with the critiquing as a Christian artist, and who should you take constructive criticism from?
How do I deal with the critiquing as a Christian artist? All right, there's two eras. There's when the song is not done and when the song is already released. When the song is not done, yes, you get your friends and you get your family and
that's so good.
Songwriters to weigh in on it, and try to make it as best as you can. You put your best foot forward. After it's released, I don't want to hear it. There's nothing I can do. It's out there, and in those moments, you have to make sure that people don't make you feel bad about what you have done and what God has allowed you to do and what God has inspired you to write and release. So by the time, I guess fans or consumers or whatever you want to call it, hear the music, there's no use for criticism at this point. It's out,
right?
And it's not going back in. So at that point, God, I need you to do whatever you're gonna do. If you like it, you listen to it, and if you don't, you just don't. And I have to make sure that I don't stay all in the comments. I hope they like it, and then hearing and thinking about all the things I should have done differently, or should have done better, and all that other stuff. It's too late. No crying over spilled milk. If you did not get all the criticism that you needed before you released it, it's too late after you released it. Now it's weighing on you. It's just a burden. So, that goes into just being delivered from people. They don't have anything to say while you're working on it, but then they got all the retrospect. They got all the what you should have done. I would have liked it if no.
Right. That's good. And that was actually our last question. Jay Blake was asking, what was the meaning behind people? So, that's super, super good to just consider moving forward beyond what people think after the fact.
Yep.
I love it. Well, thanks, Jonathan. We are praying for you, and we're just believing that this season is going to turn out to be absolutely amazing. So we know that you're going to do great things, and we appreciate you for stopping by Jesus Wire Live.
Thank you. I'm honored. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you guys so much for watching. Again, later on at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Jamie Grace, another Grammy Award nominee, will be joining us right here. So make sure you stay tuned and tell a friend. You guys take care and have a great afternoon. Bye.